I got an Xbox One here that I got that had severe shipping damage on eBay for $200. You can see that the case is all busted up, and this is the metal part inside. It's pretty much encased in metal, so the plastic was practically destroyed. This is in 3 or 4 different pieces. Ribbon's still intact, that's all that matters. The guy said that it didn't power on all the time. I'm assuming that's because the ribbon might have been in a weird condition, position, since it's all falling apart. Seems to work for the most part. The big problem that I had was the Blu-ray drive was doing that grinding noise that everybody said was happening on the launch consoles, and people were saying, Microsoft get them fixed, and I haven't seen any fixes for it online. I've tried to look, I couldn't find any. So I took the whole thing down, saw what I could do with it. I know someone took this belt over here off at some point, and his was torn up. Mine looks fine, and it was still making those noises and wouldn't read discs. So I took it off and put it back on. That probably didn't have much to do with it. Then I was playing with this. There's a disc inside, so I can't play with it right now. But I was playing with this whole setup here, and these 2 pieces and this piece have something to do with ejecting the drive. Ejecting and loading the drive. And when I was messing with this, this piece and this piece and this piece is connected too, they all fell off, and I spent half an hour trying to put them back on the correct way before I figured out how to do it, because there's so many tiny little moving parts on this thing. Can't see them, but there's probably, can't even see all of the gears. There's a lot of gears on that side. There's tons of them, and I put it all back together, and I'm like, well, that's probably not gonna fix it. But after I did, I turned the console on, connected everything to test it, and it works just fine now. It's playing previews for the International on Blu-ray disc that I've got. I've got Underworld Trilogy. It's the only Blu-rays I have. I don't have any games for the console yet. I used this. I don't know if it helped. Probably not. But it wasn't reading, so I threw that in at first. I didn't think it was even going to read it, and it did. But sorry, I don't know much about the Xbox One. Apparently didn't want to eject right away. But it's not making any of those grinding noises. It was making a grinding noise, and then the disc would only come out part way, halfway at the most, and it wouldn't want to take the disc when you put it back in either. It would make those same noises, and even if you did manage to get it in, after all the grinding noises, it wouldn't actually read the disc. But now it's functioning just fine. So if anybody's got that problem messing around with the inner workings of the mechanical system on the Blu-ray drive, you might be able to solve that. You could tell they're just loading up the DVD. You don't have to see, well, Blu-ray. You don't have to see everything that's going on the screen. But not only did I take off this belt and just moved around, put it back on. I doubt that had anything to do with it. But this piece in the back here, there's a spring if you're going to take it off that's connected to this. You got to be really careful with that. But this piece, and this piece I took off, and I put them all back on in the position that I thought was correct. And after that, everything's fine. So hopefully that'll solve some problems for some people with the Xbox One Blu-ray drive issues. They haven't all sent them back already anyway.